DC's brand new Supergirl movie comes out in just a few weeks and the star of the film just said something so unbelievably tone-deaf that the box office projections have already crashed. We're talking about a movie that needs $425 million worldwide just to break even and the lead actress is out here laughing at the very audience she needs to buy tickets. Stay right here, because what she said is going to shock you. Alright, let's set the stage here. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow comes out June 26, 2026. It stars Millie Alcock, You may know her from House of the Dragon, as Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin. This is DC's first Supergirl solo movie since 1984. James Gunn has been building his new DC universe, and this was supposed to be a huge moment for the franchise. The previous DC movie Superman with David Corenswet actually did well. It opened to $125 million domestically and made $618 million worldwide. So there was real momentum here. But then, Millie Alcock opened her mouth, and everything changed. This movie has a reported budget of $170 million and marketing costs of over $75 million. That's nearly $250 million total. To break even, they need $425 million worldwide. Right now, Box Office Theory is projecting a $47 to $65 million opening weekend. Do the math. That's a disaster waiting to happen. So what exactly did Millie Alcock say? In a May 20th interview with Variety magazine just weeks before the movie releases she was asked about the online backlash she's been receiving. Here's what she said, and I'm going to read this slowly so it really sinks in. She said that her critics are quote, a lot of people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts, or someone's name and then data for Christian which is hilarious to me. And then she added, but I mean, whose opinion do you really care about? If you're pissing the right kind of people off, you're doing okay. Let that sink in for a second. Dads, Christian fathers, families. These are the people who buy movie tickets. These are the people who take their kids to the theater on opening weekend. And Millie Alcock just called them a joke. She literally said on camera that insulting Christian dads means she's doing okay. This is the woman DC needs to carry a $250 million movie. And predictably the internet exploded. One user on X wrote, I look forward to not watching this movie. Another said, if I invested a ton of money into a film, I would tell my stars to try and sell the film not convince half the audience to hate her. Even industry insiders were shaking their heads. One commentator wrote, at some point these big movie studios are going to start adding contract clauses for these types of public statements. Now does this pattern sound familiar to you? Because this is exactly what happened with Snow White last year. Rachel Zegler the star of Disney's Snow White remake made controversial political comments before the movie released. Fans pushed back. She doubled down. The movie bombed. Disney reportedly lost $170 million on that film. And now fans online are drawing the exact same comparison to Supergirl. We have seen this movie before literally and figuratively. A studio spends hundreds of millions of dollars. They cast someone. That person goes on press tours and instead of saying, I hope you love this movie, they start attacking the audience. And then everyone acts shocked when the movie struggles at the box office. Hollywood has not learned one lesson from Snow White. Not one. Here's what I find most fascinating about this whole situation. James Gunn has been working incredibly hard to rebuild DC's reputation. Superman actually worked. People were excited about the new DC universe. And now weeks before Supergirl releases his lead actress is in interviews insulting potential audience members. Think about what Millie Alcock was actually saying. She was saying, if a father a Christian dad doesn't like my movie, his opinion is hilarious and doesn't matter. These are real people. These are families. These are the audience that superhero movies have historically relied on. The Dark Knight, Wonder Woman, the original Superman films. These movies worked because families want to see them. Kids drag their parents to the theater. And now the message from Supergirl's star is, we don't want those people. Great business strategy, right? This is the same pattern we've seen over and over again in Hollywood. Studios spend hundreds of millions of dollars and then their talent actively works against the movie's own success. And when the movie bombs €, they blame the audience. They say fans are toxic. They call critics haters. Nobody ever looks in the mirror. So here's where we stand. Supergirl comes out June 26th. The projections are bad. The controversy is real. The comparison to Snow White is being made everywhere online. Will Supergirl bomb? We'll find out in a few weeks. But I'll tell you this, if this movie struggles at the box office, DC and Warner Brothers will have nobody to blame but themselves. You cannot spend $250 million on a movie and then have your lead actress go on interviews laughing at the audience you need to succeed. It's not complicated. So drop a comment below. Do you think Supergirl is going to flop? Is this the Snow White situation all over again? Or do you think the controversy won't affect the box office? Let me know what you think. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our coverage when Supergirl actually opens on June 26th. I'll see you in the next one.